I'm not a very organized person to begin with, and so putting on the independence of college and everything there might also make it even harder to keep organized.
And not having anybody to make you do stuff. You have to learn live on your own. Probably my biggest concern.
Okay.
Making myself study.
Mom and dad help make sure your assignments are turned in on time, that you have your homework done, that you haven't lost your papers, and that things are organized. And the students really need to learn how to keep their own calendar, keep track of their assignments, know what's due and when it's due, and make sure they leave enough time for that. And all of those skills are things students are going to have when they get to college.
Graduating from high school and starting college is a transitional time for all students, and those with ADHD can struggle longer and harder with the transition. Growing up is hard, and it can be even harder if you have ADHD. What we consider grown-up things, planning, decision-making, prioritizing, self-monitoring, controlling impulses, and considering consequences, is controlled by the part of the brain that is also affected by ADHD. Growing up is hard, and it can be even harder if you have ADHD. What we consider grown-up things, planning, decision-making, prioritizing, self-monitoring, controlling impulses, and considering consequences, is controlled by the part of the brain that is also affected by ADHD. About 12% of the general population has a disability that may have an impact on education, and we are in the infancy of formal support for students with disabilities in higher education.
The other thing is that in our office, we'll just help them stay organized and stay on top of the things that they need to do. And so we have students who just come in and go, hey, can we look at what I have left? You know, sometimes they hit a panic mode, anytime now actually, in the next week or so, and they'll be like, there is no way I can possibly get this amount, because they've just realized how much they have left at the end of the semester. And so kind of talking them off that ledge of, no, it's okay, but we need to plan out how you're going to manage your time between now and then to get up.
Not much has been done to research how student development theory can be used to understand and assist with students with ADHD. I've chosen to look at Schlossberg's transitional theory, developed by Nancy Schlossberg and her colleagues, because it's my hypothesis that how well a student handles the transitions of adulthood can be a help or a hindrance as the student matures and develops their social, moral, and ethical identity. Schlossberg's theory identifies two types of transition: anticipated and unanticipated. Going to college is an anticipated transition, but there's many unanticipated transitions that can follow. Schlossberg's transitional theory also identifies 4 things that help or hinder a person as they move through a transition. Situation. That includes trigger, timing. Is this good timing or bad timing? Control, role change, duration, and concurrent stress. Are there multiple sources of stress present? Self. How does a student view themselves? What psychological resources do they have? Commitment and values, spirituality, and resilience are included in that. Support. Social support such as intimate relationships, family units, networks of friends, and institutions and communities are part of support. Then you have strategies. What coping responses does the student have? How do they cope with stress?
There are a lot. We have tables and information at orientation. We do an actual session, a presentation during orientation that fits into the student and the parent schedule, so they can come and find out more information there. A lot of times high school counselors are actually giving the students information about our services or telling them to go look for us on our web page or whatever. But if a student hasn't done anything before they get to college, they just need to know, I'm going to need something from my medical doctor to show that I have ADHD. I'm going to need a letter. It's going to have to be signed by my doctor. It can't be a prescription pad. And I need to have that with me. So when I go to ask for the help, I already have my documentation and I'm good to go. And so kind of thinking about what do I need to receive these kind of services, and then it's very easy after that. They will probably not know that the student has ADHD unless the student discloses that information to them. They may suspect if the student's kind of, forgetful or just, misses a lot of hall meetings or floor meetings or shows up 15 minutes late or something, but they probably will have no idea unless the student tells them that. But it's probably just, if the student has been late to things and you're trying to get them there on time, or they mentioned they were coming to this hall program but now they're not there on time, do you take the effort to go and see if that student's in their room and they just lost track of time? Do you make the effort to include them when you know that they, had expressed that they wanted to be involved in that? And helping them, a lot of times, if I have ADHD and I'm here at Tech and this is a big place and there's a lot going on and there's a lot to take in, I'm interested in all of these different things, but I don't really know how to find those organizations or get to that meeting. And so somebody helping me, hey, did you know, you said you're interested in this group. They meet on Sundays in the student union. Maybe you could find out about them and that sort of thing. And really helping them connect with those, because they could talk about wanting to get involved in that organization for 6 months before it's going to happen to put all those pieces together to figure out how to get to the meeting. And there are much easier ways for them to get that done. But they may not say, I need you to tell me how to find this meeting. They may drop a hint by kind of hinting more than one time that they're interested in it, but they may not flat out ask for help.